Welcome to another edition of Let's Talk Business, organized by JCI European Senate. I'm Filipe Carrera.
And my name is Robbert van Waart.
And today we have as our guest Ullrika Sellman. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Ullrika is 2021 Deputy National President for JCI Sweden and head trainer for the famous JCI European Academy. Her passion is business in service management, specialized in IT. Currently, she works as Director for Operations Excellence at Global Technology Operations in CGI, Scandinavia, while being married and mother of two. Welcome, Ullrika. Tell us a bit about your fundraising experience, because I think this is something that you really love.
Thank you so much, Filipe. Beautiful introduction. And fundraising is an interesting topic, which I am gaining experience about. Though I would say it's mostly then with projects, going for having sponsors to different projects, and especially then, of course, my heart burns for the JCI European Academy. So I hope anyone who's listening now and who would like to be a sponsor for the European Academy definitely will contact me afterwards.
Super. Wow. Ullrika, can you tell me and us a little bit more about yourself?
Definitely. Life is too short to not live it fully, I would say, is the most motto. Let's just dive in. I don't know who's listening anyway, right? But I had a huge experience of my life. When I was 10, I lost my father, which of course made me realize the importance of living your life. I now have a husband who's older than my father ever been, and I'm almost turning into that age myself. So being raised by a single mom and given the opportunities in life and also being able to stretch myself. That's why the motto of JCI would be better really suits me and my lifetime, because I like to always be able to improve and definitely then, of course, help others. So from figure skating, from JCI, from being in the student union while in university, always been in the NGO sector, so to say, and combine that with business. And of course, then service management, which is now my work. I, of course, tend to help others and ensure that we get rid of administration, fix the automation, ensure that we can do value creation work and don't have to spend that much time on less value adding things. Let's say that there is a lot to do in our world. I usually make a joke that I will be in business until I decide not to be in business, because there is so much room for improvements and I love it.
Well, that is you, the trainer inside you talking. It is. I'm also a trainer, so I really understand the lingo of it. By the way, because you cover also IT, so how you see this turning to distance learning nowadays with the pandemic? Do you have any experience that you can share about that in your area?
I do. Let's say that it's been a great learning year, right? I've seen multiple different ways of performing it, as well of course, tried them myself in business. I might add on as well that I gave birth this year. I have a 6-month-year-old baby. So April through July, I was a bit off. But with that, doing workshop with 170 people, splitting out to breakout rooms and going back, and also with the way to how to instruct people, because once they're out in the internet, you have to get them back. And once you're at the conference, you can always go over to the room and have them in. And so also as a facilitator doing trainings, the importance of keeping track of the technical stuff, having control of the different rooms to be able to then use old-fashioned go and fetch people. So the structure and the preparations is a bit, in some way, more challenging. On the other hand, you get to just sit and, copy paste and ensure that you have all the material gathered. While in European Academy, when we meet all together, you have to walk through the different rooms and you have to walk out in the forest and, check the different sites. So it's pretty much the same, but very much different. It's another environment. And I think it's good for us. Also, I think these type of interactions like we're having right now, the ability to meet and greet and do different types of forum has really enabled us to have better communication. So we will get back to meet each other, and I do like hugging, so I really miss that. But I think all the creative learnings and the ability to meet over country, be local, has really enabled us during this pandemic. Everyone, even my grandma, 98 years old, started to use an iPad this year. And let's say that we tried for 15 years to get her to have one, but everyone has been stepping up on the online.
Yeah, you told us before, or Filipe said it in the announcement, head trainer of the European Academy. I don't know if the viewers or listeners or the viewers all know what the European Academy is, but Filipe, have you been to the European Academy, by the way?
No, unfortunately not. And the only thing that I know about the European Academy is that you are not supposed to say what is happening in European Academy.
No.
So there's a huge mystery about it.
Yeah.
So there might be some very odd things happening there that we don't know. Have you ever been, Robbert?
No, I have not been there, but I have, in my time that I was national president, you have the honor to delegate some people from your country or to ask people to volunteer to go to the European Academy. And well, they came all back with big cheers and...
but they didn't say what happened.
No. I said, okay, I have to tell. No, nobody. No.
And you were the one that sent them there, so they should have done said. So it is really, really ungrateful.
Can you tell a little bit about what that is? Because people know about the Japan Academy for National Presidents. And when you become national president, you are invited to go to Japan, or deputy president. Sorry. So, what is it about the European? Is it also for big shots, or is it why is that? Tell us a little bit.
Of course, it's big shots. You just gave me that bridge, right? Because it is for incoming local presidents. It was actually it's the 24th edition, because we actually count the ones which happening, and 2020 we cancelled. We during the 90s also cancelled 2 academies. Okay. So it's been ongoing for 27 years, I would say then. Yeah. And it was 2 past national presidents of JCI Sweden then, Stefan Thorberg and Kenneth Andreasson, who then had been at Japan Academy. And they said, wow, we should have had this starting off as local presidents, because that's where the magic happens. So to be able to actually create positive impact in your local community on a local level, get the assistance to get a flying start as local president, and also have a European network at once. So the JCI European Academy is for then deputy local presidents to be able to get a flying start, and you get to learn a lot about yourself as well as about your reactions within a team. So it's an awesome team development experience, I would say, as well. Many people stay in contact many years after the European Academy in, let's say, one of their team, and the learnings of what to do with your local board, and hopefully you get somewhat not to do as well, because you tried it once and you don't want to do the same things.
So in this year it was cancelled due to, of course, the coronavirus, and not decided to make it hybrid or to make it totally online or something.
We did have these discussions. Let's say we had a lot of learnings. I could actually do the reflection. I have had a training recently about the differences and similarities between NGO and business. And at my business, of course, being an IT company, what we did when we had the pandemic coming was to check, okay, so can we run all services? Do we have people? What if someone gets ill? Who would step in? Do we have a number 2 and 3 on everyone?
Yeah.
Okay, check. We do. Good. Everybody work from home. Okay, VPN is good enough, or we need to have some more capacity. Okay, we're good. JCI though, European Academy, having hundreds of people gathering in one site for 4 days, there might be some touching. So out of that perspective, should we really do this or not? Is it going to be a second wave or not? What different restrictions do we have all over Europe? The learnings from JCI this spring, discussing and realizing how the communication and information was in different countries about the pandemic was a really learning experience. And we decided, we actually did a survey to all applicants. We did 2 surveys, one in May and one in after June 15th. There was this European Parliament decision recommendation to be done. And after that, most countries had their own recommendations, which we then, of course, took into account, and as well asking everyone who had applied for the academy. Based on that, we took this sad decision not to go for it, and there are pros and cons with that. Of course, in parallel, we had the discussions of doing it online, but with respect to the learnings you get face to face, and also since there is some physical activities, like your individual physical activities.
The ones that we cannot know about.
No.
Those, yeah. Those are the reason why we decided with the group development aspect of it, we don't want to use the European Academy brand as an online version. So depending on what happens in the world for 2021, we might have to evaluate that. But what we did instead this year was that the trainer team, which is almost 16 people, volunteered, and also had a discussion with EDC Council with respect to being available for doing trainings for incoming local presidents. So then doing like modules from the European Academy, which has happened in some areas.
Did you set like a date for it? Let's say a provisional date for 2021?
No, the date is set. The hotel is booked. The trainers, the applications is open for trainers right now. So 13th to 18th, I'm just going to toss it out. But yes, I am double checking my calendar. So it's the second weekend in August.
Till then, we are all vaccinated. Even you, Robbert.
The Netherlands, absolutely, yeah. We're starting in January 4th. Although we're now in full lockdown, but yes, we're starting.
You will be vaccinating people in coffee shops.
Yeah, in these kind of coffee
exactly,
shops.
this kind. In Amsterdam, there are some
Beautiful
coffee shops for that. So, by the way, one of the things is, as a trainer, how did JCI help in developing you as a trainer?
Beautiful question, and giving a compliment back to get some time to think, I would say, is definitely one thing I learned in JCI. So the combination of experience and good mentors, role models, as well as I believe we are very good at giving feedback in our organization, which I also here invite everyone who's watching to provide feedback on how I did in this interview, because I believe the way of how we learn and how we are in a safe zone in combination with also given the opportunities to stretch ourselves.
And what was your biggest lesson you learned within JCI and could transfer to the business side? Was there a lesson you learned in JCI you could use exactly in the business world?
Lessons learned, then I think it's something, I would say I would use a lot of things regularly. Of course, then Robbert, I would have to say Robbert Rules of Order, since I also do love to conduct those type of trainings. But using the Robbert Rules of Order structure in online meetings at business, I do daily. Well, let's say that we had one an hour ago.
With motions and amendments, you used it at work as well?
Not that I would call it motions amendments, but I would say that, okay, so is this proposal enough? Anyone who wants to add? Going first, going twice. Okay, good. So this is the proposal on the table. Everyone in favor? Yes, good.
Oh,
okay,
really?
anyone against? No? Done.
Good.
So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
appreciated for my effective meetings.
Yeah, that's actually the not the rules of Robbert that we have
No,
here,
not
but
mine.
Robert's rules, not the other Robbert, that are, let's say, a must in JCI. But let's go a little bit for the fundraising, because when we are in NGOs, and nowadays, unfortunately, there is a lot of need of fundraising. How you develop your, let's say, interested in fundraising?
I was like, now is where I should call and ask Ruth, because Ruth is a lot better at fundraising than what I am. Uh, so I would say that I would have to develop my experience from fundraising. Usually that's not the part which I take in a project, though I think it's very important, just as you say, Filipe. So I would give and I would support, and also then I would say cold calls. So if I know what I am to sort of gather the funds for, I have an easy way to just lift the phone and do those cold calls. That's
But in a way, also, in order to be successful in fundraising, you have to give something in return. It's not only the idea of give me money, please. Any tips and tricks in that area that you have been using?
I would say, the old slogan, "What's in it for me?" To actually go there with what would be for the giver, what would be the benefits for them. So, I mean, doing fundraising, you would also have to find the solution where you have a win-win, a gain for both. So whether that is to get something back from the JCI, or if it is to marketing, or identify what's in it for the person you're trying to gather the funds from. That would have to be one of my best tricks, I would say.
And when we look forward, Ullrika, next year, what will be the highlight next year for you and JCI, and maybe also for your business? What will be the highlight?
Highlights for my business is my business. Well, I am actually a stock owner for CGI as well. It's really funny to work at CGI while you're engaged in JCI.
Yeah,
So my phone message is funny with that. But I'm a shareholder of CGI, and we are doing a transformation journey right now, which is really funny. And of course, with the pandemic as well, we have a lot of interesting new business which we need to transform into being the best delivery as we can in CGI. So that is one of our top aims in there. Going for JCI, Sweden is doing a bit of a restart almost. We have had elderlies going out of the organization. I'm also an elderly soon. So getting ship-shape, and as well with the pandemic, and ensuring that we have our processes of new members and starting up new local organizations, utilizing the online trainings and making the local organizations helping each other to evolve. So we have 2 cities, actually, we had 4 of our local organizations who were not able to sort of do their yearly projects this year. I guess some of your senators might have been to the International Crayfish Conference in Halmstad, which unfortunately was cancelled as well due to the pandemic.
It was something that happened across the year.
Yeah. So you're allowed to eat crayfish whenever you are and whatever you do else at the crayfish party. But we're looking forward with the vaccine as well, of course, and also to get the new energy into those local organizations to be able to do the on-site events. So
you have so many beautiful big events within Sweden. I've been fortunate to be there to travel to Sweden in my international years. And the crayfish where you mentioned and the European Academy, all really old, because the crayfish, I believe, is 61 years old, or
plus
anniversary you had last year. So yeah, and what we see in Europe and in many countries is that with the pandemic, the number of active members go down. People get older. They go out. They become alumni or senators, or they just leave. And so I hope you will get back again in growing and membership growth upcoming years.
And get younger people. We are from 18. I believe we had a 30 plus for a few years.
Mhm.
So I was president of the student union when I was 23 with 5,000 members. So if that was possible, then I'm sure that JCI Sweden could get those numbers as well, right?
Absolutely.
By the way, a last question, because you come from Sweden, and one of the things that everybody is talking across Europe is, let's go the Swedish way or the rest of the world way in terms of the COVID-19. So what is your view from Sweden? Because we get a lot of views. So let's get another one. So what is your view?
There are many perspectives to this question, right? I think one of the foremost reasons why we sort of went another way in the beginning was due to how we are structured with our authorities compared to government. So politics were not allowed to decide. The institution of human wealth, I'm not sure of the translation of that authority, but we have this authority, which is a institute for human well-being in Sweden, who has a lot of scientists and then did the recommendations for the government. And then, of course, the government has the pressure and information from other sides of the world. So we stick to for quite some time with the sort of pandemic researchers' recommendations or old decisions. But of course, since we did not know how to treat corona, as no one did almost a year ago, I believe that in many countries, sort of government and the decisions were made from different pressure points, I would say. But the recommendations in Sweden has, of course, been, sort of keep the social distancing, and also I know what's it called in English?
The masks.
Yes.
Masks. The masks has been a huge topic, and also with whether they provide safety, which is actually not safety, that you get more careless due to you wearing them, and then you think you're safe. So if you don't wear them, you actually, do keep distance, always having the alcohol in your pocket to be able to continuously take it on. Sometimes I don't even leave the house, but yeah, I do tend to walk and take a walk every day at least, but having food ordered to home and so forth. So I would say also, of course, as in many countries, well, all cultures, I would say, education level, of course, also affects the way how you decide to act. But yeah.
There is a joke that was told to me by one Nordic colleague that in the Nordic countries, they are really, really hoping to end up with this of the 2 meters of social distance and return to the 5.
Yeah.
So this is one of the things that we don't understand in the Southern European countries.
In Portugal, you don't understand that, right?
This,
5 meters, that's the neighbor.
yeah, it's 5 meters is neighbor. It's
and I live in Gothenburg, which is actually Sweden's second biggest city. So for me, it's actually a distance with 2 meters. But yeah, up north, where you had. Yeah, I had this. I can add on that story, Filipe. A colleague of mine had moved to Gothenburg, and he's like, "Oh, it's so nice here in Gothenburg, and it's so near to everything." And for me, that was like, okay, he means like the cinema around, a kilometer away, or the pharmacy around the corner. It's near to everything. And he continues the sentence with, well, my wife has a friend in Linköping. It's only like 3 hours drive. You can go there on Saturday morning, do lunch to lunch, and then go home on Sunday afternoon. It's so close to everything. You can go to Malmö in 3 hours. I was like, 3 hours?
Hours?
That's not near. And he's like, I grew up with having 2 hours to the nearest grocery store because he lived up north Sweden. And if you're used to that, then it's really near to go to Malmö just over the day. So,
okay, thank you very much, Ullrika, for sharing with us tonight. Thank you very much. And this has been the last Let's Talk Business of 2020. We will be back in 2021. Maybe with vaccines or no, not yet. Probably the three of us, I hope, are not in any priority group. So,
is it due to Christmas that this is the last one?
Yes. So
every month.
Oh, you were prepared.
Well, it's the last week before Christmas. So.
Oh,
oh, Robbert, awesome.
Well, I have this. Okay, I can.
Bye-bye, people.
Oh my God, I did something wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, thank you very much, and see you next year.
See you next year. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.